The Dying Swan is a really interesting piece. It's a standalone variation that many people actually think is part of the Swan Lake repertoire, but actually it's its own independent piece of repertoire that was created by Fokine and made famous by
So during the lockdown, I got the chance to learn and perform a tiny section of the Dying Swan variation. Miss Blundell taught us the variation in different groups, so there was maybe 3 or 4 of us that did the same little section, and there was also obviously the video on YouTube of Svetlana doing the variation, which is incredible.
So all of the students got taught it over Zoom, and we all had the chance to record this in our own homes, whether it would be in our lounges or outside. Once we'd done that, we'd send it in to get feedback and then improve this to record it again.
What I found most challenging doing it on Zoom was the connection, and with the connection being really bad online, there was a lag in the music. So it was really hard to stay on time and to know what everyone else was doing. So with this in mind, I had to be really aware of and more independent on what I was, on how I was going to work on this piece.
It was really nice to be able to have the freedom to kind of do what we wanted a bit more and express our emotions and like portray what we thought the emotions of the Dying Swan would feel like, rather than sometimes you're kind of told more what the emotions you need to portray are. We kind of got to do ourselves and think about it ourselves.
The enjoyable part about filming the Dying Swan variation was really feeling the character and how you could put your own almost version of it, as it was we had one session learning the variation. It was very much up to us about how we approached the artistry and just the character, and I found that really enjoyable and a challenge to see how I can express that character.
The variation itself is very particular for the essence of the Swan style, the use of the back, the use of the port de bras, the use of eyeline and breath, and that created some very interesting dynamics for students who are learning the material over the internet, and breaking down the students into smaller groups to learn different areas of the repertoire allowed really nice opportunities for students to bring their own interpretation of the role and their own interpretation of the material and the musicality and the context of the performance.
I thought the challenge of this particular variation was able to really push us to sort of go with the more artistic side, especially because it is so iconic. It's very technical, but putting the artistry on top, I think, was the bigger focus for this particular variation.
I think my favourite thing about this variation is the music. It's such a intense piece of music, and it's so iconic that to being able to dance to it, like the emotion just naturally comes out. Like it was so easy because the instruments and everything just brought it all out.
I found listening to the music really helpful to think of my intentions for the piece, and also I've watched a lot of performances of other professionals doing it and see how they express their emotions and really portray the character.
So the Dying Swan variation is obviously a solo performed by just one dancer, but in this piece that we're going to be performing, it includes I think around 22 dancers, which are a combination of students and company dancers from Ballet Theatre UK, but also dancers who have been working with the company previously and have come back to join this very special project.
I think it's really interesting how we've all filmed the piece individually at our own homes when we're in lockdown. So we have like the other members of BTUK too, but then there's also past members from the main company. And I think that's going to be so interesting to see, for example, like how we can grow. So we can go from being at our grad level to then what it could look like when we are professionals.
So when it comes together, I think it will be more of an exciting thing to see how everyone has like made it different and in their own way, but to have this come together as like a community, having not been able to actually see each other during the process.